Hi, and welcome to Tuesday, day 36. We are in John chapter 19, verses 1 through 16. Now, this is a hard text to read as we see the way that Jesus is treated. He's beaten, a crown of thorns is pressed into his head. They slapped his face and jeered him, mocking him as King of the Jews. Pilate doesn't want to crucify Jesus. He sees him as an innocent man. Pilate clearly tells the Jews who were there that he has no basis, according to Roman law, to charge Jesus. He wanted to return Jesus to them to be tried by their laws, but not killed. The Jews would have nothing of that. They continued to yell, "Crucify him, crucify him." Again, Pilate says, "Do what you will, but I cannot sentence him because he has committed no crime." The Jewish leaders insisted that Jesus must die for claiming to be the Son of God. Pilate is conflicted and goes back inside to talk with Jesus, asking him where he comes from. Jesus is silent to this. Pilate tries to persuade him to speak, telling Jesus that the power of life and death is in his very hands, but truly it's in God's hands. What had been set into motion cannot be stopped or changed except by the hand of God himself. At this, Pilate brings Jesus back outside before the Jews. He then sits down on the judge's seat, ready to make a judgment. He once again offers Jesus back to the Jews, saying, "Here is your king." The crowds continue to shout, "Crucify him." Pilate asks again, "Are you sure you want me to crucify your king?" The people appeal to the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus, saying he is their only king. And with that, Pilate hands Jesus over to the Jewish leaders to be crucified. Reading about the type of punishment Jesus received at the hands of the Jews and the Roman guards is painful. He was beaten with leather whips embedded with shards of broken pottery. The thorns on the crown thrust upon his head were more than 4 inches long and pierced his skin. Centuries before, in Isaiah 53, it was written, "Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed." Our tendency is to want to look away, to skip over these parts. But we must stop, and through the pain and the blood, through the agony and the suffering, we see love. A love so deep it surrendered willingly to this punishment and death for us. Who is really responsible for Jesus' death? Do we blame the Jews who yelled, "Crucify him," until Pilate conceded? Should we indict Pilate? Of course, Judas could be blamed as well, as he ultimately started the whole thing and through betrayal and greed. Or should we heave the blame on the Romans, since they actually carried out the crucifixion? The truth is, Jesus died for our sins, the sins of the whole world, including yours and mine. Heaven was in control. The offering for sin was being prepared. The way to our eternal home was being created. He laid down his life as a sacrificial offering for sin. Instead of looking for someone to blame, we need to accept responsibility and confess our sins. Then we need to accept the forgiveness that he paid for. We must do both. Have you accepted both? Today, let us take some time in confession of our sins that led Jesus to the cross, and thanksgiving for the forgiveness that we receive because he went there and died for us. Tomorrow's reading is chapter 19. We continue verses 17 through 42. God bless.